Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Thai Talk with Dan. Now, in today's video, we're going to jump on a plane and we're going to head over to the Philippines and speak about the trickery that goes on there with the girls that work in the bar. It's nice to compare them with the experiences that guys have over here in Thailand with those type of girls. So Anthony, who's one of the channel's subscribers, has decided to share his story. So without further delay, let's get into today's Philippine story. Hi Dan, I trust all is well with you and the lad. Thanks for your channel. I find it both entertaining and informative. I'm happy to share my recent experiences travelling Asia the last 3 months with your audience if you find it worthy. Feel free to use my first name and keep up the good fight.
Here's my rifle, this is my gun. This is for fighting, this is for fun.
A bar girl is a bar girl, no matter what country she is from. Let me recant my recent experience in the hope that it may warn others and spare them some grief. I had finally returned to Asia after a long time due to the pandemic and a few personal commitments. I was intending to take in a few countries and have an extended vacation. Thailand is always good, and I visited quite a few places: Bangkok, Hua Hin, and of course Sin City, Pattaya. I was happy with the P4P and had many enjoyable encounters, both short time and long time, and tipped accordingly on the experience and enthusiasm of my newfound friends. Now, I don't buy in on any hard luck and family emergency stories, as I've heard it all before in many different languages. After a month, it was time to move on. Next stop, the Philippines. Having spent some time in the country previously working there, I had made some good friends which I had kept in contact with over the years. One of these old friends was a bar girl who had been a friend of my old girlfriend. She was always great company to go bar hopping and playing pool with. A real good laugh. We had kept in touch. She had never asked for anything until COVID had come along. I helped once with a small donation and explained that it was a one-off and not to ask again, which she kept to. So, we hooked up when we ran into each other on my first week in Manila. This is where it starts. I agreed for her to accompany me on some of my travels, as I mentioned previously that she was a lot of fun. We were going to lunch at an old favourite haunt of ours when out of the blue she received a call from her sister. And surprise, surprise, she asked if her sister could join us. In a moment of weakness, I said, sure, why not? I said, tell her to meet us there. Then I was told, no, she will pick us up. Okay, sounds good. After a 1-hour wait, we get the call she is downstairs. We go down and there are 2 taxis full of people and no room for us. I said, what the is this? My friend, we will call her Nikki, calmly said that they are all family. I shook my head and said, I'm not buying into this. Then Nikki said, I'll pay for them. So off they go while we look for a cab. We met up at the restaurant where they consumed the joint like a plague of locusts. Time came to settle the bill. A whooping 10,000 peso. I threw in 3,000 pesos. Then Nikki looked at me and said, you guessed it, can you lend me some money? Mistake number too. Now, moving on to mistake number 3. I was going to catch up with an old mate and was booking a private car and driver as it was a good few hours travelling when Nikki chipped in. "My brother can drive you." I said, "No, it's all good. I'll go with the one I found." I then got the story how they need the money. He has a good car and will look after me, and he would do it for the same price. Another moment of weakness or the tropical heat. I'll never know why, but I agreed with the following stipulation. He must be on time, none of this Filipino time. True to his word, Nikki gets the call and tells me he is downstairs bang on time. I'm impressed. So Nikki asks if she can come for the drive to keep me company, as her brother didn't speak much English. So I agree. We get to the car and there are 2 of them in the front. I remember the brothers from lunch. One of them wasn't hard to forget, as he only had 1 tooth in his head. I quickly prayed that he wasn't the driver. My prayers were answered and off we all went. I looked for my seatbelt and found that there wasn't any for the back seat. I surveyed the car and noticed the radio cassette player in the dashboard and the mouldy roof liner. How old was this car? It had to be 20 to 30 years old. Hoodwinked again. The trip was long and slow with the Manila traffic, and the rear seat was like sitting on a concrete bench. Nikki needed a comfort room stop, so when we finally found a roadhouse, I suggested we have a lunch break. I quickly realised my mistake as soon as the words had left my mouth.
Well, no shit.
The brothers mustn't have eaten since the lunch I was first bushwhacked at. Once again, a 2,500 peso lunch bill. The next thing came as I was dropped off. Old One Tooth jumped out and grabbed my bag, insisting that he carry it into my mate's house. As I paid the other brother for the agreed fare, Nikki insisted that I tip the other brother 500 peso as he had carried my bag. This had gone too far, and my good nature had well and truly left me, and I let loose. To my surprise, they asked me when I wanted to be picked up for my return trip. I laughed and asked my mate if he had anything strong to drink, and I walked off. Now, on to mistake number 4. I ran into Nikki again on my return. I was out for a drink when Nikki told me about a new bar that had just opened, which had a good pool table that we could have a game on. My radar was on full alert as we walked in, and sure enough, here we go again. It was another trap. Nikki just happens to know their mummers running the dive. I was expected to buy them both a lady drink. I had enough and walked out. The next day, Nikki called to apologise for asking me to buy them all a drink. She offered to work things off to make things right between us. Now Nikki, while not a young girl, has held together for her 41 years, putting most young girls to shame with her body. 4'9" and 40 kilograms, with moves like a rattlesnake and a mouth that had a better action than a Dyson. So obviously I fell for the free card trick. So, after a week of fun, Nikki receives a call from one of her friends, offering a chance to go into business with her for the bargain price of 250,000 peso. She demanded that I cough up the money as she had spent quality time with me. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I made a deal with her that if she left right away and never called me again, she could have what was in my wallet. A barrage of insults flowed for a good couple of minutes. She called me a scammer, a cheap Charlie, amongst other things. The irony came when she informed me that her other 3 boyfriends gave a lot more and I need to get a better job to support her. With this, I flung her luggage out the door and wished her well with her other 3 boyfriends and their monetary support for her future. The sense of entitlement that these bar girls possess is mind-blowing. If you're going to mix with a bar girl, stick with the agreed arrangement. Don't get sucked into buying them a feed or a dress on the way home. Have the correct money, as no change is given, and only tip if a real effort is put in. There are decent women out there, but you won't find them in the bar scene areas. I only have myself to blame for going along with Nikki's scams. Nikki was a long game player. Others are playing the short game. If you are going to play in these areas, stick with the P4P and don't back up with the same girl. Keep moving on and realise that it is only holiday fun and not the beginning of a real life relationship. Right guys, so another gentleman who's realised that you can't wife up or turn into a girlfriend, a woman who's on the meter, so to speak. She's always ticking on that meter and you're always going to be a customer. They seem to operate the same way as the girls do here and probably all over Southeast Asia. At the end of the day, you were a customer when you met her and you're always going to be seen as a customer. And of course, she is currently, the way she's looking at it is that she's eating you and she's happy to share that foreign food with her friends and family. Yeah, it's the way that it is. If she can get her brothers to make money from you or any other family member, she is going to do. If she can take you to a bar and show off and get you to pay for her friends' drinks, it makes her look good, makes her look like she's in control and she's got a good foreign man that she's managed to get sucked in. And obviously, because this girl is a long-time player, there are obviously other guys in the mix. Like she stated, she's got 3 other sponsors that are more generous than you. When you finally say no to these girls, they will turn quite angry with you because the way they look at it is that they've been nice. They've given you the girlfriend experience and treated you very, very nicely, spoke to you softly, gave you what you're literally paying them for, i.e. jiggy jiggy. Yeah, so the way they look at it, they put a hell of a lot of effort into you, so you should succumb to their demands and basically cough up money. This woman obviously went in for the jackpot in regards to this new business venture, which is probably a load of lies, but she wanted to try and get a lump sum out of you, and that would more than likely have been planned from the beginning. And it is what it is. These girls are willing to play the long game with any guy, any foreign guy. They're willing to play the long game with you in order to get the ultimate prize, which is normally a monthly salary or a house or some land or a business, something of a large volume of money. That's what they want. Or if they can marry you and get you to give them a nice life, buy them all the designer stuff that they want to be able to show off, because showing off is a big thing for these girls. It's so massive. They are so big on social media. It's unbelievable. And if they buy anything with a brand name on it, you're guaranteed to see it in an Instagram post, a Facebook post or a TikTok post, or all 3 of them. They just want to show the world that they're doing well and do anything for likes. It's a mad world that we live in now, and it's not just these girls that are doing it. It seems to be a thing that goes on all over the world. I personally kind of cut Facebook off years ago, yeah, because I just find it too weird, and I only set up a new Facebook account when I started my channel, so people could get in contact and stuff. And now and again I'll put posts on that Facebook channel just for people that follow me on YouTube to see what I'm up to and stuff. I've not done any for a while, so I need to do it. But apart from that, guys, I can't stand it. I mean, Facebook has the same stuff that it's always had on for years and years and years, and it just seems like a place where people just thrive on attention. So it's a little too much for me. Right, guys, if you've learned anything from this video, then great. If you haven't and you've just enjoyed the laughs, then great also. If you've got your own story and you want to share it on the channel, then as always, get an email sent in to me to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. More than likely, because we've spoke about girls working in a bar, even though we've not gone into detail with anything crazy, this will probably get flagged by YouTube and probably will go live in the next few days. But let's see, I might get lucky. Right, guys, take it easy and ciao for now.